Hello, everyone. My name is Dorla Aparicio. Each week, I want to introduce you to amazing piano teachers who have used group piano, the basics of group piano, and made it work in their studios in different ways, and how they've evolved and what they're doing now. So today I have my good friend, Rebekah Trevelise. Is that how you say it?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, good. And Rebekah, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself. Oh, wait, before that, I want to tell everybody that Rebekah is one of my few internet friends that I have met in real life. Once in Atlanta. And that was what, almost 5 years ago, I think.
In a while. Yeah.
But we have always met online, back and forth for the past few years. So I'm so glad that you've accepted to share with us today. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, thank you, Dorla, and welcome everyone. Thanks for listening. So I'm Rebekah Trevelise. I live in Austin, Texas, but I also have a vacation home in Costa Rica. So that's another connection point that Dorla and I have.
Yes.
I got started in Austin. I started my piano studio in 2016. So it was just me as a private lesson teacher, one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And once I got a waiting list, I hired a second teacher, put a digital piano upstairs in my husband's office, and she was off and running. Then we had another waiting list. So you can see where this is going. So as we got a waiting list, we just hired another teacher. Well, then I started getting questions about, do you teach voice? Do you teach guitar? Do you teach drums? Do you teach? So I started hiring those teachers. Well, then it got to the point where I had 21 pianos in my house and my family. Yes. So I had pianos in every single bedroom. So my family got—
This is the house you're living in.
We were living in it. So then I started group piano. I thought, well, I can condense it down so I can take our formal living room, which nobody uses these days. So I put 6 digital pianos downstairs, and I had my 2 Steinway grand pianos downstairs for my private lessons. And then my group, we would all play together. So my introduction to group was kind of a hodgepodge. I didn't really know anybody else that was teaching group at the time. I just wanted to get my older students, they were all kind of intermediate level. I wanted to get us playing ensembles together. So I used a lot of Susan Ogilvy's materials. That worked really well, super fun, because they got to play different instruments. We have a violin over here and a strings over here and a drummer on the piano. Yeah. So super fun. So that's how I kind of dipped my toe into group. This was a long time ago. And then my family said, we can't live like this anymore. So we bought a house in the neighborhood to move into. So that was our living house. And then the first house became the studio house. And my mother-in-law lived in that house. So
still with 21 pianos.
So yeah, so then I really took over. Then it was like, oh, we're gonna have group piano in every bedroom. So I had a bedroom with 5 digital pianos. I had another bedroom with 4 digital pianos, another bedroom with 2 drum sets and 2 pianos. So I went crazy. But it wasn't a neighborhood. So I thought, okay, I'm at the level where I need to kind of step into commercial space. And it's just so expensive here in Austin. So that's always been something that I'm looking towards and I want to grow into. I just haven't been able to quite get there yet. What I need would cost around $15,000 a month in rent for the space. So it's just not affordable. So this year, so fast forward, during the pandemic, right before the pandemic, we bought our home in Costa Rica, went down there to set it up as an Airbnb, and then got stuck in paradise basically that year. So that was a blessing. Yeah. That was the best year ever. Came back, sold our house. Our mother-in-law moved in with us. So then I thought, okay, now my business is truly homeless. I don't have group piano anymore. I don't have, I've lost my facility. So I am renting a space. We've just been in it for a few months, and we have a music room and we have an art room. So I expanded and added art and dance. So super excited about that. So I have 2 teachers now teaching piano pyramid, and they love the structure. They love the lesson plans, like everything is laid out for them. So it was really hands off for me, which I loved.
Awesome. I love to hear that. So is it just you and the two teachers now in your smaller building, or how is that working?
So I have 211 students, but some of those students are online, one-on-one with teachers online.
Okay.
Some of them are in person. This teacher is driving to the student's home.
Oh.
And then at the studio space, which is a home outside of our HOA area, it's like at the bottom part of a duplex that I'm renting, 700 square feet. It's tiny, but I'm thankful. The music room, I was able to fit 6 pianos in this room. Okay. So we can have six students at a time. So we have piano classes, music classes for young kids, and art classes out of the studio space. So only the teachers going to the studio are the ones teaching group. So I have group in person, one-on-one in person in students' homes, and one-on-one online right now.
How many teachers in total?
So we have like 22 teachers right now total. Yeah. Some of them just have a handful of students, but
okay.
Yeah.
I remember when we met, Rebekah, you were teaching 50 students by yourself, but you still had 200 because you managed a lot of teachers also. Right. So how were you able to make that change? And well, I know you said, well, no, I'll let you explain it. Tell us how you went from 50 to how many are you now?
So my max actually was over 100. So back when I was teaching by myself. So I was teaching several groups, and I had 6 in a group. So of course that boosts your numbers, but I was doing a lot. I was probably doing 50 private lessons, and then probably 50 were in my classes. So I was over 100. I don't recommend that to anyone. So please don't go there. It's not healthy. And then as my students would graduate, I just kind of made like a hard boundary for me that I wouldn't be replacing them.
Okay.
So it's sad for me to not have the baby beginners anymore, but I appreciate, where I am now. And so I can spend more time focusing on other things, supporting my teachers more, providing better resources for them. Spending more time at home with my family, spending more time in Costa Rica, hopefully.
Yeah. I can't wait to have time to go to see your house in Costa Rica. For those of you that have never met me here online, I am from Costa Rica. That's my birthplace, where I grew up. So when I found out that she was buying a house in Costa Rica, I was like, oh, so lucky. Yeah, I think you go more than I do over there. So now, Rebekah, that you have art, your early childhood music classes, you have group piano, you have 22 teachers doing several instruments, right? Not just piano.
Right.
Teachers going to your home. So you have a lot to manage. Mm-hmm. But there's also something new that you have started, which I can't wait you to share. Tell us.
Yes. So Music Game Club just launched 4 days ago. So this is brand new. We're trying to push it out to the world. This is an amazing resource for teachers. And we're very passionate about the classroom setting. So teachers who do teach groups, we understand your pain points, and we want to always make sure that our games fulfill your structure and also your time limits. So one of the things that's special about our games is we limit the game time, or we create the game so that it can be played from start to finish in under 5 minutes. Wow. Because your time is valuable, but also we need to always make sure that students are getting music theory knowledge and reinforcement. So we make sure that the games are relevant and that it's a very specific needed concept that a student needs to be either taught or that concept needs to be reinforced. And I'm so proud that we have 2 artists that work with us. And so they create beautiful games. Like they are watercolor, like they're actually like painting and hand sketching lions. And yeah, it's just amazing. So that's kind of what sets us apart is visually, we have 2 artists who work with us. And then Amanda and I we pick the music theory concepts and then create a game around that. So we know that it's relevant to the teacher and the student, and it's going to be beneficial.
So that's another thing that connects us, Rebekah, is Amanda.
Yes.
Amanda, if you're watching, she's our virtual assistant that we both use, and she's amazing.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have shared that. I don't want anybody else to have a
spoiler.
But one of the things when I first saw the game that you shared, Dynamic Den, was the artwork, which is so beautiful.
Yeah, this is a laminated page, so it might be reflecting, but look at that. It's a gorgeous watercolor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, yeah, and these cards. So when my daughter played this game, she was 6 years old. She did not know how to read mezzo forte. Like, that was beyond her reading capabilities. Mm-hmm. But after playing this game several times, she now can, she can see that that's FF, so fortissimo. So she's learned that, and then how to properly say and pronounce the Italian word. So that was a testament to me, like, oh, this really works. Like, she is really understanding dynamic concepts. And look at these baby cubs.
I know.
Look at that.
That is
it's just the cutest thing.
Really beautiful. Now that game, like my group lessons are multi-level. So I would have 8-year-olds and 11-year-olds, beginner to early intermediate, playing together. So
right. So what I would recommend is each student gets a game board. So you're pairing them up. So it's two people, 1 against 1. Okay. The winner plays a winner from another group of 2. Okay. So it's kind of bracket style. It's like a championship. So then you get all the way down. Yeah.
Okay. That would be. Is that something that you would recommend for all your games, or that this specific one?
So this specific one works really well for a championship style. Our January game is Starfish Staff, and everyone can play at the same time. So I would say for Dynamic Den, the first week you play it, you can create your brackets and who won. And then the following week, the winners compete against each other. Okay. And then maybe, depending on how large your group is, the third week, you could crown the champion. Yeah, but Starfish Staff, this game comes with 6 different colored starfish markers. And so you can have 6 and you can print more. Like if you have 10 in a class, you just print 6 or 4 more. Okay. Or you can have 2 different game boards going if that's easier.
Okay. What about, I'm sorry, but what about printing that game larger?
I don't see why you couldn't. I have not ever done this, but our games come in letter size formatting and also in A4. So all our international friends who use A4 paper, we have a separate file just for you. Okay. But I don't see why you couldn't. Now I will show you, this is a sneak peek. No one's seen this yet. Okay. So our February game is so large because we're teaching the circle of fifths. So you're going to put two of the pages, we had to split it in half because it was so large. And then I just laminated these and taped it together. Yeah. So sometimes our game boards will be bigger just because of the nature of the game, the concept that we're teaching.
Okay. Oh, I love that. The circle of fifths. Now, how would you do circle of fifths with your beginners? Like, explain that.
Okay, so that is a very good question. So this game comes with 4 different levels. And there are 12 cards for each level. So basically you're going to give a card. So say you have a level 1 student, so you're going to give them the card. So this card will actually so they have to complete 4 different tasks. Basically, they have to find 4 different key signatures. Okay. So it's marked for them. So on this one, literally a beginner, if it's their first day of class, they just need to see that these are 2 flats. Okay. And so they're going to work their way around the board. And once if they land on this lily pad, they get to mark off that they've got 2 flats.
Oh, I see.
So the level 2 person, their card actually has the key signature on there. Now, still, they can still count, but they're starting to understand, oh, this is more than just two flat, like they're starting to understand the structure of the key signature. Level 3 looks like this. So they really have to understand the knowledge. Oh, I'm sorry, that's level 4. Level 3 is just the major keys. So they have to identify what they land on. Oh, wait, what key is this? And then find it on their card. If it's not on their card, they keep searching for it. And then level 4 is the relative minor kids. So this really can go up from first year student all the way up to
your teens that are,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
For all their theory.
Right.
Very interesting how you worked it so that the younger students can still play together.
Yes. And it, right. And they're seeing it on the keyboard. So they're starting to recognize, oh, the G flat, like, so visually they're starting to understand the concept of what does a flat look like in a sharp? Where is it located on the actual keyboard geography before they move to the key signature version? And then our activity page, look at this. So they get to practice. Is this upside down?
No, it's not.
Okay, it's hard for me to look at the camera and see things. They get to practice writing their key signatures, but also this is something that I really like to do. So I was taught by my piano teacher, Frank can get dollars at every bank. So students can come up with their own funny little phrases. I mean, there's so many out there.
Yes.
And then at the end, whoever wins the game, look at these success posters. So all of these frogs represented, so we have 10 markers. So you can play 10 students at once. And all of these are different frogs. So we have the labels, the names of the different frogs, all the fun facts about the frogs. Like, it's just, where if I can find a frog, I'll show it to you.
Be a real frog.
So the success posters are a big thing for us. We want to celebrate the student success, you know, the teacher successfully teaching a new music theory concept. And this is great prompt for them to remember, oh, take a picture, send it to the parent, making that connection point there. And then social media, if you do social media.
So I remember at the beginning, you said that we're going to play the game in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Please tell me how you're going to do the circle of fifths in 5 minutes.
So each card just has 4 key signatures on it.
Okay.
So so they're just needing to find 4. And so they are rolling the die. So everyone starts on C major. So you roll the die, say it's 3. 1, 2, 3. If you have 2 flats on your card, then you cover it with the marker. We've got these markers here, these lily pad markers. So then that would go onto your card. Like you would say, okay, I've completed that.
Okay.
So whoever fills their card first is the winner. So that it condenses it down. Right. Yeah. So each time, but remember, there's 12 cards. So each time a student plays it, they can get a different card. So they're thinking about different key signatures each time.
I'm excited about this because in my groups, we get to playing the piano and practicing out loud, working on an ensemble. And I am that teacher that keeps playing the piano instead of stopping for a game. And then I look and I see, oh, wow. I only have 5 minutes left. So I love that.
Look at this one.
Oh, he is a little.
He's a little grumpy.
Like a toad.
Look at these. They're so
The green one is very popular in Costa Rica.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I hear you about, like, I'm a big fan of duets and ensembles and playing and just play more.
Yes. It's so good. Let's keep playing.
Right. I also love playing games. So I always have to think, my mindset has to be, we're going to sit down. Games are fun for kids. So your level of a teacher and a child's eye, if you sit down and play a game with them, oh man. So your retention just went up because you're playing games with them. But then also you have to think of it as, it's not just playing a game, it's teaching them music theory. So that for me was the big shift for mindset for me when I realized I'm not just playing a game to make it fun. I'm playing a game to teach music theory. I just get all the benefits of, now I'm connecting with the student, I'm laughing with the student, we're spending time away from the piano, talking about all the things in their music. Now we're making it relative to what we've been talking about, but it's in a game format.
Awesome. Okay, so this is a subscription.
It is.
You have to become a member there's tons of subscriptions, Rebekah, for piano teachers. And I know we've all joined one or the other at one time in our teaching career. But what is exciting, what is different, what is new, like, convince me. Well, you don't have to convince me because I'm already subscribed, but
Right.
tell us.
Yeah, so for launch week, so for this week only, we have 2 bonuses that you get. So not only do you get your Starfish staff game, and look at these cards, you can also print 2 decks. So you've got this black pearl.
Oh.
So for beginner students, they can just count that this is on the 4th line and they move four spaces forward. A beginner note reader can figure out that that's an F, and then maybe have your more advanced players F run to the piano, play the F in the correct octave. So that's a way you can have 3 different levels playing all at the same time. So our January's game you get if you sign up this week. So it's a monthly fee of $15. You get your game, and our games always come with success posters, and they always come with activity sheets. So our activity sheet here, you get this beautiful sea turtle, and then you get to practice writing your line notes and your space notes. So it's a nice take-home sheet to give. Or if you have time, say you're doing camp style classes, you have time where you can do worksheets all together. So
fabulous for piano camp.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Pay attention. Yes.
Stacking snowmen is one of our bonuses that you get. If you sign up by January 8th, you get the stacking snowmen. You get 12 snowmen. And so there's 4 snowmen in 4-4, there's 4 snowmen in 3-4, and 4 in 2-4. So these are put together. You're supposed to cut them. So once you've cut them, you have all of these different parts of the snowman. So there's a few ways you can play the game. What I like to do for groups is you pass out the snowman pieces, and you can tailor this. If you just have a beginner group, you can remove the dotted quarter note, 8th note snowmen if you feel like that's too hard. But I always say, it's a great way to start introducing a harder concept. Yeah. So I'm always like, hey, games are a great way to teach something that's too hard. It's a fun game. You can just help them with the answer if they're struggling. So you pass out the cards so each student will have several cards visible, and you're going to clap or sing or play one of the rhythms. So someone has the rhythm. So they've got to look at their cards and identify, and what I'm hearing, do I have it? Is it visible in front of me? And so whoever has it, I have it, and then they put it down. So together as a class, y'all are building all of the snowmen together. But each individual child has to be paying attention. So it's on them if they have the card to reveal it.
That is a great game for my classes next week, where everybody's coming back and we're starting over. And those concepts are, we've been playing already for 1 semester, and even the new students that are joining, that will be a fun game that we can do quickly.
And you can also reinforce the rhythm, say that is correct. If someone says, I have it. How about you clap it back now? So you can test their knowledge, because sometimes someone can hear it and visually say, okay, this is it. But can they now clap the correct rhythm back? That, to me, I've seen has been the hardest thing for students to really internalize and be able to physically clap a correct rhythm in time.
Right.
The other freebie you get, so you get these 2 bonuses, is create your own composition.
Oh.
So there's 3 different levels here. So the prompts are in C major, F major, and G major. So it's super easy. The child rolls the die. You start on C major. They roll 4. Well, then you can see the guide here. So then they would put an F in their lily pad. So they just work their way around. There's so many different ways you can do this in a group setting. Once the lily pad has been done for each child, you can go around accompanying them, or you could do it as a class. You could say, class, we are composing in G major today. All right, so each student gets a turn rolling the die, so you fill it in. You accompany the class. Maybe each measure, a student gets a melody line, or maybe 1 note if they're beginners. So there's a lot of different ways. Oh, another thing that sets us apart, I just remembered, is we have videos of our gameplay and all the different ways you can play this game and use these resources. So we have YouTube videos highlighting all of these different concepts that I'm saying, so you don't have to remember everything I said.
Okay. So all the instructions are on there.
All the instructions are on there, and we have YouTube videos. So we have a QR code on every single instruction sheet.
Yes.
So if you are not a reader, if your eyes start to cross and glaze over reading all of these instructions, just scan the QR code and then you'll see us play it.
I love that idea. Yes, yes.
And then look at this beautiful little composition sheet for those students who do want to start notating compositions. This is a really beautiful way of, you know, sending them home and documenting that they're composing.
Every game comes with a worksheet.
Every game comes with a worksheet and a success poster.
Okay.
And video gameplay that we've already, you know, figured out different ways to play.
Okay.
Even alternative ways. It's like sometimes we'll come up with different ways, like our Starfish staff. You just print 2 of these decks and you can have a fun memory game.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Do you use any of these games with your younger students? Like I have a lot of 4 to 7-year-olds.
Yes, yes. All of these games can be used. I always think of it, if I have a 7-year-old coming for their very first lesson, if I can play a game with them, all of our games are acceptable to play with a student. That also relates to I should be able to play it with a 4-year-old.
Okay.
So yes, they may not be able to read pianissimo,
but they know
but they can see that this is the little tiny cute little baby. So of course, who wins the dynamic if they draw this against, I'm trying to find, so you can see that this cub is bigger, you know, the teenager, the mezzo forte. So, and they start picking up, they start hearing you say the correct term.
Correct term, yes, yes. Fabulous. Wow.
Same thing even with the circle of fists. They can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can see that this is 0. So that's going to be C major.
I love it.
So, yeah.
Ingenious. Good job, Rebekah and Amanda.
Yes.
One more question. So for the membership that you're offering, it's cool to get the games, and I think the worksheet is fantastic because you can use it all month. You can use it. But I know there's more that you are offering for the teachers with the membership. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we also have a private Facebook group page. So you will be invited to join there. So we will share more resources and more inspiration and more support for you there. So inspiration and support are kind of our 2, along with the games. Those are like our 3 pillars of our company. So we are passionate about supporting and equipping the next generation of teachers and making sure that they feel supported. So I have some notes here I wanted to share. So for Amanda writes our blog. So I would definitely jump into our blog because she has a lot of freebies and bonuses there. But 2 examples of ways that she did support for teachers. She created 5 ways to practice gratitude as a piano teacher this year, and 101 ideas for piano teacher self-care. So those are just 2 1 week's, you know, worth of support that she's giving to the teachers in our community. And then for inspiration, 3 steps to do something different in piano lessons, 8 teaching ideas when your student is stuck. Another one of my favorites is how to teach piano students to practice effectively. So yeah, we're not just playing games, we're also providing inspiration and support for our teachers. So we have a separate Facebook group for Music Game Club members. And then this week, if you register or sign up by January 8th, you get the 2 bonuses, which will never be free again. So jump in.
Okay. Now, will teachers be able to buy your games outside of the membership?
Yes. Yes. Our shop will go live. That's a great question, when the first games will be available. I don't know if it will be after the first quarter or after this first month. We're still trying to figure that out. But yes, every single game, and it will be more expensive than what you're getting as a member.
I was going to ask you that. So what would be the benefit for me?
So
the membership.
Right. So the $15, especially something like Froggy Fists. I mean, that is a massive, massive resource that every piano teacher needs. Every piano teacher needs to have a resource that teaches them circle of fifths in an easy, fun way. So that game will be probably one of our most expensive games that we offer. Whereas Starfish Staff and some of the other ones, we have Counting Caterpillars coming up this quarter as well, which is a rhythm resource. So they have a cute caterpillar and they're picking single notes or single rests to build a measure in 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, and 5/4 time.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is beautiful, Rebekah. What an amazing project. And I love that you are catering in a special way to those of us who teach in groups, because we've had to adapt so many of the other fun games that we use. I have so many games that I've had to make, 8 copies of everything. And which I didn't mind doing because I know the importance of having a good time with the students after they've worked so hard at the piano and to teach these concepts and review. But you've elevated the games for us where we don't have to make those massive amount of copies and still be able to play with multi-level groups. So thank you for this project. Amazing, amazing.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Well, awesome. Can you, do you have anything that you didn't say or that I didn't ask before we say goodbye?
I think we covered everything.
Let me see if we don't have any questions, which is fine. And those of you that are watching later, if you have any questions, you can just post them in the comments. I will add the link to the membership. There's also a free game that you have been giving away previously. So we'll add both of them.
Yeah, Dynamic Den, anybody can grab right now. And if you sign up, you get your January game, which is Starfish Staff. You also get Stacking Snowmen, and you also get Create Your Own Composition.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's what's available right now until January 8th. And then our bonuses go away. You can still get Dynamic Den for free, but the Stacking Snowmen, the Create Your Own Composition, those things right there are huge resource.
I need to go open my email. I received my welcome email, but I haven't opened it.
It's been a little busy the last couple of weeks.
But now that I'm getting ready to teach next week, I'm going to have to look into that. Well, thank you so much, Rebekah, for sharing your amazing piano teaching journey. Now you have such a big school, all the teachers you manage, including group piano. Give the 2 teachers that you have teaching group piano a hug from me. I wish them the best. And I hope all the teachers that are watching at least download the free one, okay? And give it a try. And you'll see how well this will work. And yeah, I encourage you all to join the membership. It's tax deductible. Come on, you can do it.
And the games are good for a lifetime. Like you can use these games over and over and over again. So yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Rebekah.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All righty. Bye-bye, everyone.